Yeah, welcome to the Happy Half Hour with Steve-O and Mojo. Woo! And we are live. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. All
I just
right.
I just gave my life to Jesus right there on that moment, right there. I just
Yes, I see that hand. All right, so everybody,
beautiful,
welcome.
Joe. I want to say beautiful, but I don't know if I should.
Then don't say it.
Okay. All right.
We are here. We are live on the Happy Half Hour. This is Joseph Mojo McCarthy with
Steve O'Hayes right here.
Steve
And we are
Hayes
happy
right
to
there.
have
That's right.
you.
We are. We are happy to have you. So we are not serving up liquid courage. We're serving up digital
Digital.
courage. One
Yeah.
shot of happy juice at
Yeah,
a
that
time.
is
Right?
right. That is right.
Woo!
You'll be happy you joined in. You're going to laugh. You're going to think, but you're going to be encouraged. We make it a point to try to, that's why we're on here. We want to encourage you and help you because there's a lot of stuff out there doing the opposite. That's not what we're about. We're not on here to make a name for ourselves. We don't practice this in advance. We don't rehearse this beforehand. We might let's talk about this subject, but it's all off the cuff. We are here to help make your life happier. And that's why it's a happy half hour. Right on. Thanks for joining us
Woo!
today.
Yes, that's so great to have you. And this is episode 12, season 1, episode 12 of the Happy Half Hour. As Steve said, you can find all the episodes at chatmosa.com, CHATMOSA.com.
And we're
There's
on
actually a direct.
Spotify too, right?
Oh, we're all over the place.
Dude,
We
we
are all
are
over the
all
map.
over the place.
We're all over the map, Steve. I'm going to put in the chat right now, the live chat. By the way, if you want to join us on the live chat and you're listening right now, I'll just go to chatmosa.com, click on the happy face. You'll click enter or go, and then vice versa, go or enter. I always get those in the wrong order. Perhaps. Do you remember? Anybody remember? Mary, do you
I don't know.
remember?
Just look for it.
No.
It's enter. You click the picture and then it comes up and you say you want to enter in. And if you don't want to say anything, just type in the chat. You don't want us to say anything. Sometimes people are introverted or they're shy or they don't want to be a part of the discussion. So we might just say hi to you and that's it. If you just let us know,
Right.
you let our producer, Mary, know, and she'll make sure that we don't ask you any questions that you don't want to be asked. So, but we would love to
Did you
have you
say
in the live chat.
producer? Did
I
you say
said
producer?
producer,
All right. Well, since we have a
producer.
producer, I see your hand up. Mary, awesome, Mary. Would you like to say something to the audience as our producer, please? Or no?
Actually, it was a mistake, but hello, everybody. Welcome to the the happy half hour live.
Happy half hour.
Happy half
Live.
hour. It's only half an hour.
Only half hour. That's it. Half hour to change your life. We're pouring up some liquid courage. I like that a lot, Joe, because people go to the bar, they go to a happy hour, and they need liquid courage. But we're pouring up some digital courage, man. That's what it means to encourage. It means to pour courage into, and that's what we are all about at the happy half hour.
I love that. So belly up to the bar. This is a dry bar. Belly on up, and we'll be happy to serve up some shots of happy juice. So let's get into it, Steve-O. Now, for those who don't know, although this is episode 12, our first 3 episodes had technical difficulties, audio issues, and so the first episode that you can actually access on any platform that you're on. In fact, we are on every platform you can imagine. But you go to Happy Half Hour Live because there is other shows called Happy Half Hour, but there's only one called Happy Half Hour Live because the other ones are dead. No, I'm sorry, I'm not saying that. but the first 3 episodes you won't find because of audio issues. And one of the things we covered early on, and I want to circle back to today, is the fact that Steve-O, before you and I ever teamed up on podcasts, we had both come up with a 4-letter acronym that kind of defines our mission. It defines what each one of us is about. And interestingly,
separately from each other.
Yes, separately before we ever spoke together, right? And interestingly, they not only do they overlap, but they intersect very well.
Yeah.
And so, Steve, why don't you start? Tell people a little bit about you who haven't met you before, and then work your way into that 4-letter acronym that defines what you're about, and then I'll give mine, and we'll talk about how they overlap.
Excellent. Well, I'm a happypreneur. I'm here to find creative ways to make you happier. I'm here to activate, navigate, and advocate your happy life. We're here to help you find what makes you happy. We're here to help you turn that thing on and then walk alongside you. That's why we started a podcast. That's why we have social media in the first place. We want to advocate your happy. We don't just want to tell you to be happy. And we view happy a little differently. A lot of people see happy as I'll get rid of the negative when all the circumstances line up, when all the planets line up. That eclipse,
Right.
that happy eclipse happens once every 10,
Right.
15 years, right? The circumstances never get along. Well, we think that you can be happy despite your circumstances. A happy life is a lifestyle we describe as a lifestyle where you get and keep happy no matter what your circumstances are. So I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a happypreneur. I mean, kind of entrepreneurial as well, but not a lot of happypreneurs out there. I'm not about making money. I'm not good at making money. I'm good at spending money, but I'm not good at making money. I'll just tell you the truth. I'm
Everybody's
just
got their
not.
gifts, brother. Everybody's got their gifts.
Right? You got to go with your gift. You got to go with your flow. And if you're good at spending money, that's what it's there for, is to spend it.
You
I'm
just got to
also a
find a sugar
messenger.
mama. Oh,
That's
sorry. Go ahead.
exactly right. So if you'd like to apply for a sugar mama or sugar daddy, just let
Go to
us know. We would.
steveohayes.com.
I'm also a messenger. I'm a messenger that's here to help. I have a message, and I want to spread that
Here
message.
to what? Your messenger
A
here
messenger,
to
and I'm here to help. And it's
help.
actually an
What does
acronym.
that
And
mean?
it's funny,
Yeah.
this is where our acronyms, Joe and I both had acronyms apart from each other. And when we started talking, we're like, so many things happen like this with Joe. It's like we're twin brothers from another mother.
That's right.
And our acronyms, they line up on the LP. LPPL, the LP, like long play. It's really kind of cool. So this has happened
Or
to us
like
a
an
lot
album,
where
an LP.
an
Right.
LP, exactly, long play.
Yes.
So my acronym is HELP, and it stands for I'm here to bring healing, I'm here to encourage, I'm here to make you laugh, and I'm here to make you ponder. That's what I'm a messenger that's here to help, to bring healing, encouragement, laughter, and to make you ponder, make you question why this, why not this, why not try this, why not believe that we can make it happen, that type of thing. Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh, by the way, you can find me or the podcast, anything, just go to happylife.studio. That's the webpage, happylife.studio, and you should find everything from there. And we'd appreciate anything that you do with our social media, commenting, liking, sharing. Let's take this happy and spread it. Let's start a happy demic online. There's a lot of people spouting a lot of negativity online. We just want to raise the happy level online, and that's what we're all about. So happylife.studio. My co-host, on the other hand, is mojo.studio. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Joe.
Sure. Yes. I am seriously happy to be here. In fact, as the time ticks towards our live shows, my mood actually boosts. I can feel the anticipation. There's actually, I don't know all the neuroscience, but I know there's some endorphins that are released when you're anticipating something that you're looking forward to that makes you feel good. In fact, sometimes you feel better about the thing before you get there than when you actually get there. You're
Right.
like,
The expectation of it.
oh, yeah, right. The expectation, right? And there's a science behind that. I don't know all the words, but I know there's a neurochemical released in the anticipation of something good. And so we're doing this every week. In fact, we're doing 4 episodes a week, 2 on Mondays and 2 on Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on our schedule. And I look forward to this. I look
Yeah.
forward to it. So as we're getting closer to going live together, I know Steve was going to be there. Mary's going to be there if she can, and I get excited about the fact I get to spend time with my friends. So I just want to pause on that for a second, right? I want people to understand, ponder. This is your P. Ponder the fact that scheduling into your schedule something that you know you enjoy, that you will look forward to, just putting it on the schedule, the looking forward to it can boost your happy.
Yeah.
Not just the doing it,
Right.
the looking
Even if
forward
we
to it.
suck, just you looking forward to it. The
Right?
expectation oftentimes is greater than the actual event. Like the
Yes, exactly
vacation,
right.
you look forward to vacation, and sometimes you go on vacation, you come home so wiped out, but there's something about that planning days off, looking forward to
Yes.
the weekend. Oftentimes, the looking forward to the weekend is better than the actual weekend
Everybody's
itself.
looking for
For
the
the
weekend,
weekend.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So here's a good example from my life before I get to my acronym is that when I got out of college, I interviewed for a job in Hawaii. I went to college in
Oh, nice.
Southern California. I interviewed for a job in Hawaii. I got hired, and there was several months before I was going to go to Hawaii because I had some summer tours that I was doing for the college to do recruiting at camps, which I loved. It was a great summer. And Steve, you know what that's like to go to youth camps. It's amazing. And it's exhausting. But anyway, the whole time I was thinking about Hawaii. Oh my gosh. My first job, my internship out of college is in Hawaii. I can't believe it. And all that anticipation, I was so giddy about I'm moving to Hawaii. Come on, people. I was telling everybody I could, right? And so for 4 months, I was like living on this high, and I hadn't even got there yet. But I was imagining what it's going to be like. I'd never been to Hawaii. I'd seen pictures, right? Never knew. I figured I'm going to meet Don Ho. I'm going to do some surfing in Waikiki. I'm going to climb Diamond Head, right? I'm gonna land on a volcano. I don't know what I was going to do, but I was so excited about it. And when I got to Hawaii, Hawaii is beautiful, no doubt about it. I loved living there for 4 months before I moved on to my next thing. But being there never lived up to the expectation. And that's not what I'm saying is what the science behind this is really good. And I want you to take away, if you're listening, I want you to take away the power of anticipation, right? Scheduling onto your calendar something that you are looking forward to. It doesn't have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be exotic, just something that you know is going to make you feel good. You're actually going to feel good because you planned it even before
Right.
you get there. So that's
Right.
important to talk about.
Right.
So my acronym that Steve and I, we never compared notes until we started talking about, working together. And I've got this acronym based on the word play. It's another 4-letter word, PLAY. And my acronym for play stands for pretend, which to me just means to unleash your unlimited imagination, right? Allow yourself to imagine. Sometimes we think imagination is for kids. And I'm like, really? I don't think so. God
It's
gave us this
sad. It's
amazing
sad
gift.
when we
Jeez.
make ourselves grow up and we stop imagining, put a suit on, carry a briefcase, and we
Right.
lose a lot of life at that moment, right? I don't want to grow up. I
Exactly.
want to be a Toys R Us kid, you know? So
Yes.
I
Right.
completely agree. We pretend as adults. Anyway, keep going. We could go on
Yeah.
that for a long time.
For sure. Yeah. But, adulting is way overrated. And so
Right.
I say all the time, don't be childish. That's that's young and immature and whiny and self-centered.
Yeah.
But don't lose your childlikeness. Somehow
Right.
we've equated the two, we've conflated the two, and we think, well, I'm an adult now, so I can't be childish or childlike. And I'm like, no, you can. Please be childlike. And a lot of people have accused me throughout my life of being a very little boy in a very large boy's body. And I'm like, at first I was offended by that. Like, what are you saying? You're saying immature? You know what they were saying was, I love the fact that you can still play. You can still play as an adult, right? To
Yeah.
me, life is a game. And if you can gamify life, no matter how bad whatever you're facing, it can be fun. So P is pretend. Let your imagination go wild. It's an amazing gift. In fact, Sadhguru, if you guys know who that is, an amazing philosopher, he said the two great superpowers of humans are their imagination and their long-term memory. It sets them apart from all of their other
Mm.
creatures. So use it. It's a tool. It's a gift. Pretend, laugh. This is where Steve and I and our acronyms are exactly the same. Laughter is essential to life.
Yeah.
Life, love, laughter, they all start with L. And I got to say, L isn't for loser, it's for laughter. And laughter it releases all those healing hormones. Laughter truly is the best medicine. The endorphins that are released when you laugh can actually heal your mind, your heart, your body, and heal relationships for that matter. So L is laugh, P is pretend, L is laugh, A is ask. A is ask. And for ask,
There's
that
another A
means
word there that sounds a lot like that, but you put a K on the end there. Is that what you're
ask,
saying?
right? Ask. A is for ask. And asking to me is the idea of always wanting to learn, right? Because another thing Sadhguru has said, and I love this, he says, as soon as I say or even think that I know, I've shut myself off to any and every other possibility. So how do I suspend my judgment? By asking. Curiosity suspends judgment. Asking means, okay, I know this much, but there's so much more to learn, right? I don't ever want to have arrived. In fact, if I've arrived, then pretty much put me in the coffin, I'm done. I always want to be growing and learning. And yes, it's difficult sometimes, but asking, and I even look at ASK, the word ask, as a 3-letter acronym, ask, seek, knock, ASK, ask, seek, knock, which is biblical as well. And it's not a one-time thing. It's ask and keep on asking, seek and keep on seeking, knock and keep on knocking, and that's how you learn. All
You
right, so we
know,
got
Joe, one of
pretend.
my can I tag on
Yes, jump in.
your
Oh,
ask
yes,
real
of
quick?
course. Tag,
You know,
tag on, would you?
sometimes it's like a superpower, right? When you ask, it's one of my
Yes.
boys came to me once and just talked about how he didn't think he was a very good friend. I said, "What do you mean? I think you're a great friend." He says, "No, I just don't know how to do conversations. I don't know." He was a little introverted. He'd get a little shy. He'd get a little what's that, caged up when people start talking. Like, I don't know what to say to them. I don't know what to. And I just told him, I said, "Son, listen, it's easy. Just ask questions. People love to
Mm.
talk about themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. We should talk about ourselves because every one of us has a story, and every one of our
Yes.
stories matters. But
Boom.
oftentimes we don't
Boom.
find the other person's story because we don't ask. We spend so much time talking that we don't ask, and asking forces us to listen to them, and that's what makes a conversation two-way. And I tell you what, now he is such a great conversationalist. But when you get stuck, just ask questions. I meet people I don't know all the time in what I do. And I tell you what, some of the greatest conversations come from just me asking questions. Sometimes it's just tell me about yourself. And
Yes.
it opens up some great doors. So ask is it's a superpower. It's huge.
It is 100%. In fact, some of you would know Napoleon Hill's book, How to Think and Grow Rich. It's one of the most amazing books. Napoleon Hill knew nothing about thinking or growing rich, and he knew that. And so he says, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to interview the most successful people of my generation." And he went out like a reporter. He wasn't a reporter, but he made himself into a reporter, and he asked some of the most successful people of his generation, how did you get here? What did you learn? What lessons have you learned? And you know what? Everybody thinks Napoleon Hill is a genius. And Napoleon Hill says, "I'm not a genius. I asked all the geniuses to share their wisdom with me and I wrote it down, and everybody thinks I'm a genius." And I'm just
Wow.
telling you, that's a model for me. It's a model for all of us. When I walk into a situation, as our friend Rick Olson, our mentor, would say, there's two kinds of people. You walk into a room and you're either saying, "Look at me," or you're saying, "No, no." He says it this way. There's people who walk in the room and say, "Here I am." And there's people who walk in a room and say, "There you are."
Mm,
And I want to be the latter because I know about me already. And
yeah,
if I'm just all about me, I'm not going to learn anything. When I
yeah,
walk into a room, especially, and Steve, you're good at this too, and you and I both have this. We're wired this way. Find the person in the shadows,
right,
hidden away, tucked away, afraid to enter into a conversation and initiate it with questions, because
right.
everybody is willing to tell you their story if you ask and you really
And you
care
think
to
about
learn.
it, when you go mining for the materials, the ores that are valuable, the gold, the silver, they're always hidden in the dirt. They're always hidden. You have
That's
to
right.
go digging for it, you know?
Dig
And these
for it,
people
right?
that oftentimes they're valuable, man. They have something to offer,
That's
something
right.
that can really help us out. And we just need to. Here's another thing too, going right along with what you're talking about there, Joe, is what a
Yeah.
great acronym. Pretend, laugh, ask. Okay. So when I find people that are good at something that I want to be better at, or something that I'm weak at, number one, I like to hang out with them because I want to rub shoulders with them. I
Yes,
want
right.
to hopefully it'll rub off on me. But let's say
Yep.
you have a kid and you're not sure how to, your kid's a toddler now, or your kid's a teenager, you're not sure how to raise them, or you're having a situation with your spouse or with your boss or whatever. Find somebody who's doing well in that department and then ask them questions. Ask them how they are the way they are. How come you're this way? How can you, Joe? You know that I ask you that a lot because
Yes.
I can be a very negative person, honestly. That's why I like Happy Life Studios. It forces me to confront this on a regular basis. But Joe,
Yeah.
you on the other hand, you're not a judgmental person. I can be a very judgmental person. So I've asked you a lot of questions in the past. And when I find people that do something that I want to be better at, I ask them questions. How do you do it? And people love talking about that for the most
Yes.
part. And if they
Right.
don't, you ask and they don't answer anything, then
Move
you just
on.
leave it. Move on. Be
Right, move
quiet.
on.
Be
Yeah.
quiet for the moment,
Yeah.
but somebody that's good at what you want to be good at and ask questions. Like Napoleon
Yes.
Hill said, I'm not a genius. I just ask geniuses questions and I wrote it down. And people think I'm a genius now.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, Tony Robbins is famous for saying this quote: "Success leaves clues." Success
Hmm,
leaves clues. Now,
that's
one way
good.
to find the clues is to study someone else's life or to watch their patterns. But the fastest way to find out what those clues are is to ask, right? And you're right, not everybody will give you an answer. Some are actually protective of whatever their secret sauce is, but those are usually people who haven't made it yet. I've found, Steve, and I don't know what you think, but I've found that the most successful people in the world are the first ones that want to tell other people how to get there, right?
Yeah.
Once they've got to that level of success in whatever area field, I'm not just talking about financial, whatever area that they're in, they're like, they're so excited about what they've learned and how they've gotten there. They're the first one that want to tell somebody as long as you'll ask. Now they're not going to tell. They're usually not going to tell you if you don't ask because they're like you don't want to know, and they probably have many times been shut down by people like, okay, that's nice, just keep it to yourself. I have anyway. That's my own experience. But when people do want to know, when they do ask, and then I'm more than willing to share whatever quote unquote secrets I've learned along the way because
Yeah.
I think there's something built in the human condition that when we've received something valuable, the first thing we want to do is tell people, right?
Right.
Can you believe
Right.
it? Can you believe what I found? Right. And that's also what's the mentality? There's two kinds of mentality in terms of abundance or scarcity. A scarcity mindset says, I'm going to keep it to myself because there's not enough to go around. An abundance mindset says, I'm going to give it away because I know that in the process of giving, I'm going to receive more. It's really
Yeah.
a mind.
Yeah.
I was going to say mindset, but my word is mind flow. All
Yeah.
right. So we're running out of time here. I'm going to get to the why. The why in my play acronym: pretend, laugh, ask, and yield. Now, yield has two distinct different meanings in my mind, in my acronym. One is this idea of giving up, not giving, no, giving up is the wrong word, giving over. So in a yield sign, it's like an upside down Y, right? Two roads are coming together into one road. If you just get there at the same time as somebody, you're going to crash. Or you can speed up and be ahead of somebody, or you can yield, slow down and let the other one go ahead, especially if it's a big truck, right? You want to yield so you don't get run over. Now, I think of that in spiritual terms, Steve-O, in that oftentimes in my relationship with God, and I don't want to define God for anybody. I'm just saying in my experience, in this relationship that I have with my creator, I can push ahead with my agenda and I don't lose him. But he's like, well, if that's the way you want it, we can go your way. Or when you're ready, instead of pushing me, you can follow me, right? Yield. Yield doesn't mean stop. It's not a stop sign. A yield sign is not a stop sign.
Right.
It's just back off the accelerator and follow somebody who knows where they're going.
Yeah.
And that, again, success leaves clues. It goes back to there. It doesn't have to be God. Find someone who knows where they're going and back off the accelerator instead of leading. Follow. Sometimes following will get you there faster than leading. So, and that's one kind of yield. Let go, let God is the way I say that.
And I would also
The other,
say this too, that
yes, please.
one of our issues in life today, at least in America, is we're always in a hurry. We never slow down.
Yes.
You
Oh,
can't see
yes.
the scenery when you don't yield, right? You can't
Yes.
figure things out as much when you don't slow down. And so when you slow down, you have a chance to experience more. You have a chance to ask. You have a chance to look. You have a chance to follow somebody.
Mhm.
But sometimes I'm reminded of a story once where this guy is he speaks to a lot of people, and he was a pastor, and he was in a funeral procession. But while he was in the funeral procession, and I won't say who his name is, but he was like thinking about all these things that he had to do to get done because he was a mover and a shaker, right? And finally, he loses where he's at in his mind, like he sees what is wrong with this traffic. I've been behind this forever, and he gets up and he speeds up and starts to go around him, and all of a sudden he comes across the hearse and he realizes what he's doing. He's in the funeral procession because he's going to do the funeral service for the
And I
guy
was
who took
racing
him
past the
away.
hearse.
And so then he just something came to him all of a sudden, and they looked at him like, "What are you doing?" And they pointed at their tires, and he said, they're good. The tires are good." But sometimes we get in such a hurry, we forget where we're at. And I think there's
Yeah.
such a powerful thing, Joe, right there, to take moments to yield. That's what a day off is
Yeah.
supposed to be for, not to go
Yeah.
1,000 miles an hour doing something else, right? So I love that yield. You said there's two parts about that yield, though. What was the second part
Yes.
of the yield?
Well, before we get to the other part of yield, I want to capitalize on what Steve just said. It's in this idea of not hurrying. There are two things, Steve, that I want to eliminate from my life: hurry and worry. Those are
And they
two
go often
chief
hand in
enemies.
hand. Yeah.
Yes. Talk about enemies of my happy. Hurry
Right.
and worry will steal my joy faster than almost anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I want to quote Dallas Willard here. Dallas Willard is a great theologian. He's passed away, wrote some amazing books. But one of the things he said, he's famous for this quote. He says, hurry is the chief enemy of your soul.
Mm.
Not lust, not murder, not greed, not envy, not all the seven deadly sins. Hurry. Like,
Wow.
what? Hurry is the chief enemy of soul? Yes, he says hurry. He
Wow.
says ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. Well, how do you do that? You back off the accelerator. And why? Because if you're always in a hurry, you're never in the present. You'll
Mm.
never be present. You're
Ooh,
always
say that
off to the
again.
next thing. If you're in a hurry, you are never present. You're always off to the next thing. And by the way, you look back and you think of all the things you missed because you were never there. And
Yeah.
Steve and I have said many times, the best present is your presence. So that's one of the reasons. Ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. The other part of yield, though, I think, is like in terms of a farm or seeds. My dad was a farmer. I grew up in Montana. He did this as a hobby and he planted seeds. And he knew that if he did his work, prepared the soil, planted the seeds, waited through the winter, and then tended the seeds as they grew, that one seed would not just produce one stalk or one fruit. One seed produces a tree with lots of fruit, and in every fruit is a bunch of seeds, right? The multiplication, it's not one
High
for one.
yield.
So sowing and reaping is not one to one. Sowing and reaping is you plant something and you get that back in spades, right? If you do the work. And so yield, I'm like, oh, that's true. Pretend, laugh, ask, yield. If I back off, if I take the foot off the accelerator, if I allow something greater than I to lead me, and then I'm going to get a greater yield from my life in terms of love, joy, peace, patience, all the things that really matter. I'm going to get more of that. Oh, then yes, I'm
Love
in
it.
100%.
Love it.
Play,
Yeah.
pretend, laugh, ask, and yield.
Help. Healing,
Help.
encouragement, laughter, and ponder. Play, pretend, laugh, ask, and yield. I don't know what
Yeah.
your acronym is for your life, or if you've ever thought about having an acronym for your life. You can also come up with like images, come up with phrases, sentences. Maybe there's a scene in a movie that you love so much. Ask yourself the question why you love that scene so much, because it might represent your life really well. But I think it's good to have something to say, here's kind of what my life is really about. And so we want to thank you so much for joining us today, for listening to us. Joe and I both know that time is your most valuable asset, and we're very honored that you used yours to spend it with us for this last half hour.
That's right. Yes. And I want to put our two acronyms together, Steve. We've talked about this. Imagine this, that Steve-O and I on the happy half hour, with the help of our producer, Awesome Mary, we want to help you play. HELPU, the letter U, play. Help you play, right? That's what we're about. That's why we're here. That's what the happy half hour is all about. Now, we're going to come back on in just a few minutes with episode 13. And in the episode 13, as we do every week, the second half hour, we allow the live audience to interact. Now, we don't have much of a live audience yet. We're still growing, still building. If you want to be in the live audience, you're welcome to. Right now, our producer, Awesome Mary, who's been here all day and keeping the live chat rolling. Thank you so much for that, Mary. We'll be responding to what we shared this half hour in the next half hour with thoughts and questions so that we get the feedback from someone in the audience. So we'll be back shortly. Please join us if you can. Until then, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend.
I'll be your
I'll help
friend.
you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Yeah. Peace out and
Peace in.
peace in. All right. See you in just a couple minutes.